Yuji Itadori is way stronger than we could have ever imagined. Sukuna and Gojo aren't even close, and his reunion with Mahito was nothing but belt to backside. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 22, titled The Soul Pathway, begins with Yuji expressing his understanding of Maru's intentions and course. Looming over a sweating Mahito like Sukuna would, Yuji highlighted Maru's plan to transform the souls of the Japanese populace for the sake of ensuring cursed spirits are no longer produced. And he'll do that by using Mahito's soul tampering technique once it's been further enhanced by pure Mool and Yuta's bountiful cursed energy. The veteran sorcerer questioned if such a thing is truly possible. Maru confirmed that it is, so long as Yuji will allow him to do it. Yuji made it clear that Mahito is not the sort of guy who would willingly help them out. Maru admitted that they may need to resort to brute force. Yuji mulled that over. Maru asked if he should be the one to do it, but Yuji decided to handle him, although he was a bit worried that he might accidentally kill the fool. He'd be pretty useless to them if that happens. Maru clarified that in this pathway of souls, the two of them are the only ones with physical bodies, meaning fighting against Mahito would result in subjugation rather than death. This is the curse's hell, and Yuji is free to be his tormentor. They spoke about him as if he couldn't hear every word they were saying. Stooping down with more Sukuna-like mannerisms, the strongest sorcerer asked the limp curse if he wanted to try his hand at fighting him. And to that, Mahito swiped the hand, and Yuji casually stepped out of range. An old curtain and stage equipment tumbled down. Changing the stage, the disheveled curse voiced his disagreement with their pretentious babble. Clearly, they were overlooking just how dangerous he truly is. Yuji glanced around and saw that the field had shifted to Shibuya. Then, as Mahito slapped his palms to the ground, Yuji noticed that his foothold was rising. With a maniacal shout, Mahito claimed that since they're the only ones with physical bodies here, then they're the only ones capable of death, so he'll be the one to come out on top. Skyscrapers were transmuted into dried out and elongated angular fish heads, with their sole focus being an elevated Yuji. Idle transfiguration! They crashed into his now encased and floating position with tremendous force. Mahito lifted himself and produced even more. Due to the entirety of their location being made of something akin to souls, Mahito is in his element more than ever before. So everything around him may be freely manipulated by his curse technique. As now, with the taste of victory within his grasp, Mahito decides to annihilate Yuji's youthful visage. Domain expand! Mahito's tongue and all of his fingers were severed in an instant. His eyes widened with a lack of comprehension. He turned and witnessed divinity. In an instant, Yuji cleaved everything in the area into minuscule pieces, achieving a feat that dwarfs Sukuna at his best, all while keeping his hands still in his pockets. Mahito was just an unruly beast, oblivious to both the slaughterhouse and its butcher. With that done, Yuji sauntered over before the pieces could fall. He wondered if the villain had always been this weak. He flicked out the ocular cut of meat with his thumb. When the chunk landed in Maru's grasp, the alien apologized to the curse and expressed the need to use him. Mahito's essence was then converted into usable energy. Yuji seemed to be contemplative. He spoke up when Maru asked if something was wrong. Yuji was just wondering if Mahito may have messed with his friends who've passed away. Maru reassured him that conflict between souls doesn't really hold any weight in this place. Yuji wondered about that. Even if that is the case, Mahito's curse technique is the perfect fit for this place. So wouldn't he be some sort of exception? Smiling, Maru clarified that Mahito doesn't have the necessary curse energy to do so anymore. Really, he only got his power back for a moment because of Maru and Cross's curse technique, Chaos and Harmony. As they approached a door, Yuji decided to take his word for it since Maru seems to know so much. But really, Maru's only this informed because they're in this place. Maru opened the door while mentioning the information Yuji gave him. On the other side was a little trolley with a Mahito doll, Yuta's ring, Yuki Soul Research, and pure Mool. And now that they're inside this childish playroom, Maru had one more thing to be sure of. He asked Yuji what he knows about the Kallions of Earth, the cursed spirits. Yuji recited that cursed spirits are the byproduct of the cursed energy that leaks off of humans, a phenomenon that is mostly unique to Japan, which means that to establish a world without cursed spirits, they have two choices available to them. The first would be the removal of cursed energy from Japanese people. The second would be to turn the entire Japanese populace into sorcerers. Maru pointed out that the second option only works with the assumption that the newly minted sorcerers will ensure that their cursed energy only flows inside of their bodies. And by using their energy by way of techniques, the amount of cursed energy spillage would be minute. Yuji agreed, while thinking that Maru's ability to deduce all this from Yuki's research was notably convenient. Yuji doesn't have much faith in the second option. The way he sees it, the damage caused by cursed spirits would simply be traded for damage caused by cursed users. But Maru questioned if the first option wouldn't come with similar complications of its own, such as causing more heavily restricted people like Tsurugi to be born. And such people may cause trouble too, bringing them to what is effectively the same issue. But according to Yuji, it wouldn't be a problem unless someone is born with abnormal cursed energy levels or an exceptional curse technique. In that case, Maru figured that option 1, the removal of cursed energy from the Japanese and Sumerians, would be their course of action. Yuji asked him why Sumerians were being included if cursed spirits don't spawn from them. Maru decided to do so because only taking cursed energy from the Earthlings would only cause more problems in the future, which Yuji couldn't deny. He took a seat and prepared to ask a question that might seem strange considering how far they've already come, which prompted Maru to apologize and finally exchange his name. Now saying it, Yuji asked for the boys' personal feelings in regards to their plan. Solemn, Maru admitted to seeing it as a sort of atonement for causing so much trouble on Earth. With a firm resolve, he expressed his hope that the people of Earth will be glad they crossed paths with the Sumerians, and feel like the world is a better place due to their presence. Yuji thought that over, and ultimately, he apologized, because despite slightly agreeing and believing Maru is in the right, what they're about to commit is a sin of the highest accord that can never be atoned for. Maru blanched. Yuji made it clear that what they're doing is throwing away a possible future in pursuit of immediate safety. An example being that research into cursed energy has largely stagnated, yet the arrival of aliens should have presented the means to making tremendous strides in such areas, thus giving way for a universal, renewable energy source. In a few hundred years, the planet may run out of its current resources, leaving cursed energy as their only way out. By doing this, they'll be throwing that possibility away, not to mention the fact that they'll be modifying people's bodies without their consent, which is nothing to be proud of. Having previously overlooked the implications, Maru was now sweating, wondering what they should do. As with total conviction despite the dangers, Yuji declared that they will continue to do so regardless. Maru was stunned. He wondered if such a thing would truly be alright. Again, Yuji stated that it is not alright in the slightest. It is very, very wrong. But with unblinking eyes, he insisted that they do so anyway. Maru could only ask him why. Yuji's response was that something must be done. He estimates that he'll live for another 300 years or so, and he's willing to do what needs to be done. If it turns out to be the wrong thing, then he'll still be around to face the consequences. Although, he wonders if he'll still be ageless after losing his cursed energy. To that, Maru said that he won't be messing with the existing Earthlings and Sumerian sorcerers. The plan will be limited to those who haven't awakened as sorcerers and those who have yet to be born. To do otherwise would be to drastically compromise people's lives after all. Next, Yuji mentioned the cursed spirits. Maru was prepared to discuss the existing ones, but that's not what Yuji was referring to. Plainly, he stated that even if they remove the cursed energy from the Japanese, cursed spirits will more than likely still be born. Now Maru was completely thrown for a loop, questioning everything. So right now, it looks like we're getting set up for the future of Jujutsu Kaisen. Honestly, the thought of sorcerers being in the majority for once sounds really cool. But since they've decided against that course, I would love to know what your hopes might be for how this ends up going. We've been getting nothing but 10 out of 10 banger chapters for so long now. I've already praised this story as being the best sequel shonen has seen since Dragon Ball Z, but furthermore, this is the most impressive collaboration between a writer and an artist the magazine has seen since Death Note. If you're still hating on this story, then you might just have poor taste. As always, I am Slice of Otaku. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.